Welcome to your daily stock market summary from MarketSnap. Markets took a breather today with a defensive tone as investors digested rising yields, inflation concerns, and the big Nvidia earnings just around the corner. The major benchmarks finished lower. The Dow dropped 330 points, the S&P 500 slipped 0.67%, and the Nasdaq gave back 0.84%. The S&P 500 closed near 7,354, while the Nasdaq settled around 25,871. Volume stayed solid, showing investors were active even on the pullback. On the bright side, a handful of names still found buyers. Advanced Micro Devices climbed more than 3%, Intel added nearly 5%, and Lumentum jumped over 8%. Meanwhile, Tesla fell more than 5%, ASML dropped over 3%, and GE Aerospace slid almost 4%. Among the most active names, Nvidia held relatively steady ahead of its report, while Amazon and Palantir saw lighter moves. Overall turnover remained healthy, especially in the semiconductor complex. The bigger story was the tug-of-war between AI enthusiasm and bond market reality. Treasury yields pushed higher again, with the 10-year flirting with levels not seen in years, which put pressure on growth stocks and fueled a rotation towards software names that have been lagging hardware all year. Armin, Lumentum, and AppLovin led the week's winners, while Genuine Parts and Rivian sat at the bottom of the large-cap list. Sentiment indicators show investors are still in chasing prices mode rather than full-blown greed, which is actually a constructive sign for the longer-term bull case. A lot of cash remains on the sidelines, waiting for better entry points. Earnings season continues to be the main driver. Nvidia reports tomorrow, and the market is pricing in a massive move either way. Other notables this week include several retailers and industrial names that will give us a fresh read on consumer and business spending. You can find exclusive earnings transcript summaries on MarketSnap. On the macro side, incoming Fed Chair Kevin Warsh is getting plenty of attention. Markets are watching how he balances political pressure for lower rates against still sticky inflation. The good news for long-term investors is that corporate America keeps showing pricing power in key areas, which supports margins even if the Fed stays patient. Industrials and consumer cyclical names led the week's sector action, while healthcare lagged. That rotation tells us investors are still favoring companies tied to real-world spending and infrastructure build-out over pure growth stories that got ahead of themselves. The AI theme remains intact, but the market is getting more discerning. Hardware stocks that ran too far are seeing profit-taking, while software and select infrastructure plays are attracting fresh capital. For patient long-term holders, these pullbacks have historically been excellent opportunities to add to high-quality compounders. That's a wrap for today's stock market summary from MarketSnap. Thanks for tuning in. If you want deeper dives, earnings transcripts, and SWOT analyses on the names moving the market, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss an update. See you tomorrow.